We're at North Gums Penshurst in southwest Victoria. We're on a mixed grazing property with 1,400 hectares. The biggest challenges that I have myself here are adapting to the climate, making sure that our system can withstand industry changes, also supply and demand with our product, whether it be an overseas influence or also domestic influence.
And really the thing I want to spend time on today is a comparison between the feed sources that we've got available to us. So grain on farm, pellets, or buying in a mixed ration already.
Over the last few years, we've recently incorporated feedlotting system into our sheep breeding program. We were utilising summer crops through our crop rotation, but it doesn't seem to be fitting into our system anymore. And we've found out that the feedlotting seems to work into our system a lot better because we've got full control over what we're actually putting into our sheep, into our lambs to finish them. We've got control over when and how. We can hit a market exactly when we want. And it doesn't matter whether our season finishes in middle of November or whether it runs through to January. Basically, if it runs through to January, we get to finish more lambs on grass and probably more money in the back pocket. Otherwise, we're not scared to put them in the feedlot, and we know our margin, and if we can buy the feed and return at the right price, we're going to go with that.
Most of you are buying in pellets, so you know exactly what you've spent on feed, whereas guys I work with in northern parts, they've got grain on hand and they've got no idea whether it's 50 tonne, 80 tonne that they've put into those lambs. So a lot of you can think, well, what are my lambs worth today? What have I spent on feed? What's the net result? And it's really easy to work out, well, how much money have I made?
Talking with a lot of the other group members in our Farm300 group, it's quite interesting with the greenhouse emissions and the Farm300, and also where we're wanting to go, in being more profitable and turning stock off earlier, being more efficient. Like, I think we're all heading in the same direction anyway, and it's, if anything, reiterating what we're doing and enforcing our practices that we're trying to do, because the margin is getting smaller and smaller, and we need to figure out ways to increase that.
Why are feedlots? Why is it good for the environment? It's maximising the carbohydrate intake for these sheep. So it's maximising their weight gain, so we're selling them quicker. Hitting target weight sooner, so we're reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
I'd like to think as especially the group of farmers around here that we're dealing with, is that we're all pretty conscious of the environment anyway. To be sustainable, we have to be. And so that's almost come into line with whether it be greenhouse emissions or whatever it might be. So in order for us to be profitable, we need to go down that path anyway.
Let's be proactive ourselves at saying, well, this is something that we're doing to actually help the environment. And an 8% reduction, that's not bad.
One of the things that we're doing here to try and make everything more efficient is being more aware through constant animal monitoring. In the next 3 months, working with Farm300, it's going to be really good to get the data back on this feedlot. We will have probably turned off in the next 3 months a couple of sets of inductions through, and we'll get some data back on them, and hopefully the efficiencies are up there, and it'll be proof of the pudding whether it's been efficient or not. Following a set of guidelines, but being true to it, not deviating from it, either taking it seriously or giving it away. I mean, you've got to be literally fair dinkum about it.